Now we're gonna do a full send. 3, 2, 1, go. Actually pretty good kick down. And we just hit 100, damn! You guys join me in a 2021 Chevy Spark. 1.4 inline 4, 98 horsepower, 96 pound-feet of torque, CVT transmission, front-wheel drive, and 0 to 60 comes eventually. And we're gonna take it on the highway, but first let us start her up. Do a quick little walk around and traumatize ourselves a little bit. This is the cheapest car you can buy. American made, by the way. And yes, you will save a lot of money on gas, on maintenance, just because of the sheer size of this thing and the lack of a lot of parts, making it very light and very cheap to own. Since it's kind of windy and I think it's gonna rain, we're gonna cut the walk around short and we're gonna hop right in immediately. Now we're gonna be driving on the highway for a good 15-20 minutes. That's more than enough time for us to see how well this thing handles on the highway compared to everything else, because we know how Americans, we love our big cars, our big pickup trucks, and there's gonna be 18 wheels on the highway too. So let's see how this baby handles the road noise, the presence we give off. And yes, this car would honestly be perfect for somebody who's learning how to drive, but let's see how someone who's somewhat experienced, well, I shouldn't say someone, I've reviewed so many cars at this point, let's say someone who's pretty experienced in driving a lot of cars, see how this thing is on the highway. I had the urge to accelerate before this car got here, but then I remembered I have 98 horsepower, so yeah. Wouldn't be my smartest moment trying to out accelerate something that has more horsepower than me or a better power to weight ratio. But come on, just a little break in traffic would be nice. Okay, now we got to hop onto the highway now. And yes, you can get this thing brand new for less than 20k, and this is a 2021 version model, so if you really want to save money, you could go used and buy them for even cheaper. And yes, it's a cute little vehicle. What does this thing compete with? It competes with the Nissan Micra, Mitsubishi Mirage, again Chevy Spark, and maybe by the closest might compete with like a Kia Rio. Although I think the Rio is slightly bigger, or they're probably very similar in size, but this thing just feels not as wide or as rigid slash stable. CVT transmission, so our acceleration should be very smooth. Again, acceleration is going to be very smooth with 98 horsepower, to be honest. And this is not going to be your traditional review, because we're not going to be talking about all those extra things, because I've reviewed this car already. I just want to take this thing on the highway again and relive that experience, you know? It's a fun little car. Funny, but decent. Now we're gonna do a full send. 3, 2, 1, go. Actually pretty good kick down. And we just hit 100, damn. Again, I'm not gonna complain and say, oh, this car should be quicker. It's 98 horsepower and all the cheapest things you can buy. For the size of it and the engine that's in this thing, you really shouldn't be complaining. What are you gonna complain about? They didn't put a V6 in a Chevy Spark? Yeah, that really doesn't make sense to put a bigger engine in a car like this. Oh my god, I didn't realize how slow I was going. Come on, overtake. Oh my god, everyone is just onto me. Well, it feels that way, but to them it's probably just regular driving. They're cruising at 120. I'm stepping on it to get just past 100. So yeah, your best friend is going to be the slowest lane, to be honest. Once you get up to speed, it's not gonna be bad, to be honest. Getting up to speed is the challenge half the time. And you got to realize that you don't have as much power as everyone else, so you kind of have to step on it just to keep up with the car that's a couple of feet in front of you. Now let's turn on our cruise control and have it set. Now we can just cruise easily. When you look around yourself, you notice that you're one of the smaller items on the road, to be honest. Which again, isn't too bad, because I am probably saving the most in gas right now. We're using, well, our average is 44 liter, no, our average speed. Our average right now, we're using 4.5 liters for 100 kilometers, which is honestly next to nothing. That is this thing's strongest point, the gas saving. And honestly, I can't complain. It's simple. Not the most well insulated thing out there, because I kind of have to talk a little bit up, but nobody's ever really driving in silence. And usually people are listening to something, so let's listen to Ariana Grande for a second. Honestly, not bad. Not too bad at all. Adaptive cruise control? Nope. Blind spot monitoring? Nope. Lane keep assist? No, we do not. Heated seats, heated steering wheel? Nope. We lack a lot of amenities in this vehicle. But the point of it is not to keep you comfy. It's to get you from point A to point B and save you the most amount of gas physically possible. We're cruising at just above 60 miles per hour, and we're only using 6 liters for every 100 kilometers. And once we're going to stop and go traffic, it's gonna drop, and we're gonna use even less gas. So yes, people may make fun of this car, saying that it's small, it's tiny, it's kind of practical, but it's honestly the most car that makes the most sense if you don't have to haul people and you don't need the amount of extra space. This is the car that makes the most amount of space. It appeals to the elderly person in me. It appeals to the senior citizen that sits within me. The car reviewer in me is like, yeah, it's practical, it's boring, it's gotta be perfect for 90% of the population. But 90% of the population wouldn't want to come to this car's level and use it, is the problem. And honestly, to each their own. Everyone has their own opinion, you know? And as you can see, we are surrounded by nothing but big 18-wheelers on all sides. So we're gonna 100% accelerate and overtake in 3, 2, 1. Takes you a while to get up to speed again, but once you get up to speed, it is honestly not bad. And let's see, not too many creaks in this thing. The plastic soft touch, well, not exactly soft touch, but decent. I'd want to say hard touch because that's not really a word that's used to review cars, but very solid plastics all around is probably the better word to use. Very solid plastics all around. And yes, nothing fancy whatsoever in this vehicle, and I can't complain. Well, I shouldn't complain for the price tag at least. And I'm gonna go back to my favorite lane when I'm in a car like this, the slower lanes, where I can maximize on my gas saving efficiencies. And another thing, this thing is super reliable. Well, pretty reliable for the size of it. And braking, because of how light we are, braking comes pretty easily. We don't need the biggest brakes out there, though I do feel like the smallest thing. But hey, people know I'm not overcompensating for something, at least, because if I was, I would have had something ginormous. But back to our cruise control again. It's comfy enough, suspension is soft enough for me to not complain when I'm on the highway. I haven't done enough city driving with this thing to get that feel in my system. But as it stands right now, it's just good. I can't hate it, and there's probably somebody out there crazy enough to modify this thing. Put maybe a little turbo on it and have this thing become an actual pocket rocket. Because this thing is just a go-kart. Not even on steroids or anything, this is just a simple go-kart. A raw legal go-kart, to say the least. Just adjusting my cruise control. Oh, that is a beautiful spec Porsche. See, we're roughly the same size as that thing, but the thing has more power, so that's what gives it the advantage. And here comes one of my competitors right now. Let's see. Nissan Versa. I can't see too well, I'm partially blind. Well, not partially blind, it's just dirty windshield, so we're gonna clean that up a little bit and get to closer. No, I don't want to be this close to a truck, but yeah, looks like a tiny little Versa. That is one of our competitors, a fellow small hatchback enthusiast. Though again, perfect for 90% of people, but most people would never want to be caught driving something like this. Maybe your ego gets in the way, maybe the way we were raised gets in the way, maybe the way we just want to live and how we drive gets in the way. But this thing is perfect for a lot of people, and a lot of people probably just don't realize it, to be honest. But anyway guys, this has been Morty, 2021 Chevy Spark. Gotta take this thing on the highway, gotta realize how tiny and how small I am. But for the price tag, you can't really hate it. You can't be like, I hate the Chevy Spark, because of how it is. People don't say the Chevy Spark is their dream car. It's the practical owner's choice, to be honest. But take care guys, and peace.